Yes. Yes. Good morning.
Bhujbal Knowledge City, the part of MIT League of Colleges, driven by a single-minded focus on imparting quality education. MIT BKC Institute of Pharmacy established in 2006 with a mission to develop students socio-technically. The institute has maintained the quality right from the establishment, as it reflects from the accreditation and various awards which college has achieved. MIT IOP is the first NBA accredited pharmacy institute in Nasik region. MIT BKC Institute of Pharmacy has been approved by AICTE PCI and is affiliated to Savitribai Phule, Pune University. MIT BKC IOP offers full-time courses in Bachelor of Pharmacy, Masters of Pharmacy and PhD. Institute stands for its excellent, well-lighted and ventilated ambience with range of facilities like classroom which are equipped with an overhead projector, speakers, smart board, etc. Well-equipped and spacious laboratories which provide experimental learning experience. State-of-art pilot plant simulating the pharmaceutical industry with range of equipments for formulation, development and evaluation. Institute has separate instrument room having range of sophisticated instruments as per the need of industry and research work like HPLC, UV, FTIR, etc. Heart of Institute, the library, one of its own kind with open access, great ambience and various national and international book collections to give great learning experience. Institute is also a well with gymnasium which is equipped with a number of professional electronic and manual universal fitness machines along with indoor sport facilities and music room. Campus also has an amphitheater for social gathering and expression of students. The institute believes that the quality of faculty member and their commitment to excellence is the core competence towards its development. With this thought, institute have more than 50% doctorates, 200 plus publications, 5 patents, 1 copyright and 16 book publications. Our students are encouraged to take part in national and international competitions and events as part of their curriculum. To add feather on hat, we have Ms. Archana Kapse, ER.3 in GPAT 2019, Mr. Aditya Darade, ER.1 in GPAT 2014 and Mr. Parag Mehta, ER.15 in GPAT 2010, who have qualified national level exam GPAT with dignified ranks. MIT IOP has signed 8 Memorandum of Understanding, that is MOU, amongst them are Japanese Industry, Asahi Kasei and Malaysian University Technology Mara. MIT Institute of Pharmacy provide a platform for expressing students and showcase their hidden talent through Antaranga and MIT Utsav annual social gathering. Success comes down to you with appropriate attitude, effort and focus, which is certified by various achievements which institute has received. Best Magazine Award by SPPU, Champions Trophy at National Pharmacy Week, Award for the Best Research Paper and Presentation. Best College Award by Student Development Board SPPU for Student Welfare Activities. Institute has also been honored with highest rank platinum by AICTE C2 survey for its outstanding linkage with industries for consequently 2 years, which surely strengthen the institute and students to survive in this brave new world of technology. Bhujwar Knowledge City Institute of Pharmacy, the place where your search ends.
Yes. Yes, Sania. Uh, yes.
Good
Starts. Yes,
morning,
madam.
good morning everyone. I, Sania Bhalera, on behalf of MET IOP, welcome you all to National Level e-FDP program implementing ER 2020 Challenges and Opportunities organized by MET Institute of Pharmacy in association with APTI Maharashtra State. I welcome our eminent guest, Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir, Vice President, Maharashtra State APTI Western Region, our Principal of MET Institute of Pharmacy, Dr. Sanjay Shirsagar sir, and HOD of MET Institute of Pharmacy Diploma, Mr. Mayur Sawant sir. I also extend my welcome to all the participating faculties who are here with us in this live stream. Many teachers were awestruck when we decided to conduct e-FDP program on the topic of ER 2020. Let me tell you how we have arrived on this particular topic for our e-FDP program. We have collected more than 200 feedbacks from faculties of pharmaceutical sciences and we asked them on which topic they would like to have guidance on. After carefully sifting through the feedback forms, we have come to know that ER 2020 implementation is a topic that most of the faculty want to understand. We are very fortunate to have unwavering support of APTI Maharashtra and MSBT, due to which today we are able to conduct this national level e-FDP program named Implementing ER 2022 Challenges and Opportunities. Now we will proceed with our inaugural function. Our guest, who has tremendous achievement in his career path, is among us. Our chief guest today is Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir, who is Vice President APTI Maharashtra State, Western Region. Introducing Sir is not an easy task, as many awards, accolades, patents, and publications in his field of work. Sir is CEO, Dr. D.Y. Patil Unitech Society, and Principal of Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Research, Pimpri, Pune. Sir has more than 25 years of experience. Sir has guided more than 20 PhD students and 60 M.Pharm students. Sir has more than 17 patents on his name and he has published many research articles in national and international journals. Sir has authored more than 20 books. Sir has received IPER Principal of the Year Award 2020 by Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India and honored with Leading Excellence in Pharmaceutical Academic and Research Award by Golden Health and Education Awards 2019 New Delhi. Sir, we are very grateful to have such a versatile and philanthropic guest for our today's session. On behalf of MET Institute of Pharmacy, I extend my gratitude and I welcome you, Dr. Soham Chitlange.
Thank you.
Now I request our principal sir, Dr. Sanjay Shirsagar, to deliver his keynote address.
Morning, one and all. Respected dignitaries, our today's chief guest, young, dynamic uh, leader of APTI Central, Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir. Uh, Today we could have our one of president of Maharashtra State APTI, but due to his some urgent meeting, he could not able to attend today's program. But he has also helped us in the organizing this session. Our HOD, Mr. Mayur Sawant sir, who is also the convener of the program, Miss Sarika Patil, coordinator of today's program, Miss Sania Balerao, madam. So, this is the initiative which we have taken under the banner of APTI, who is always striving towards the betterment of our fellow teacher. And the program is being approved by MSBT. We are also thankful to MSBT for supporting this good initiative. As Sania madam told, before conducting this session, we have done a survey. We have passed some questions to our fellow teacher across India. What are their problems? What problems they are facing while implementing the ER 22, while implementing the syllabus of diploma, and we, we got we got many responses, more than 250 responses we received across India. So that indicate the people are facing some issues while implementing this syllabus. So we thought we must address this issue. We must call some eminent personality in our pharmacy profession who can address this issue and guide our fellow teachers for the better implementation of ER 2020. One of those important issue which we come across is there are many, but it was not possible to address all the issues, but we have just compiled all the issues. One of the issue which prominently come across is the how to conduct the new syllabus or the new course like pharmacotherapeutics. So pharmacotherapeutics is generally a part of the PharmD syllabus, and our teachers were facing some issues how to implement this, how to conduct the practicals related to the pharmacotherapeutics. So we approached some PharmD institute. We also have our PharmD institute, but we approached one of the senior PharmD institute, and we requested them to address this issue. And we have Miss Dr. Shraddha Devarshi who is addressing this issue. This is one of the issue. Another issue which we come across by many participants is that how to correlate, how to do the mapping of course outcome and the program outcome. As all of you are aware of, SAR of NBA is already available, and many DFARM institutes are going for the NBA accreditation, which is very much important from the quality perspective. But they are not aware of what is how to do the mapping with respect to the course outcome, what exactly the course outcome, what exactly the program outcome, and how they should be mapped for the improving the quality of a teaching and learning. So, our president, Maharashtra State, Dr. Somani, he is going to address this important issue. Then, again, we are dealing with the many issues with respect to the student. The dynamics of our teaching learning got changed. Approach of the student also got varied, and we expect that our deformed students should not be restricted their job to the dispensing or the compounding of the medicine. Their job is more than that. We can, if we effectively implement our role, we can save many lives or make a difference in the health of many individuals. So we need to address the issues of the student also, and we have very good speaker, Dr. Mr. Avinash Bhutada, who is having more than 30 years of experience in a teaching. He's a good counselor, good orator, and good writer who have seen the prospectus of the student and the generations of the student. And we thought definitely he will address this issue, how to deal with the current generation student, what are their requirement, and how to tackle their issue. So if you consider in overall, uh, we are trying to address the issues of our faculty. We are trying to address the issues of our student as well as some of the regulatory requirement. So this is a nice gathering which we have tried to do, and we got very good response. More than 650 registration we got across India. Every district we have a participant from the every district of the Maharashtra. We have participant from the Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan. So across India, we got a response, and that indicate the teachers are striving towards the betterment. So this is what the small initiative which we have taken. We are very much thankful to our own association of pharmacy teachers, APTI, Dr. Chitlange sir, under the guidance of whom we are doing the activities and trying our best for the betterment of our fellow teachers for supporting this activity. And we are very thankful to Chitlange sir for having to with us today. And definitely he will guide us in some of the aspects related to our pharmacy education. So I again welcome you all on behalf of trustees, Mr. Chagan Bhujbal sir, Mr. Honorable Sri Samir Bhujbal sir, our mentor, Dr. Shefali Bhujbal madam at MIT Institute of Pharmacy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of wisdom, and it always enables us to perform our duty as a teacher in very fulfilling way. Now I request Dr. Sohan Chitlange, sir, Vice President APTI Western Region, to enlighten us with his speech.
Very good morning to all of you.
Good.
And I also heartily welcome all the participants for this national level e-FDP on implementing ER 2020 challenges and opportunity, which is organized by MIT Institute of Pharmacy, Nashik, and APTI Maharashtra State jointly. And I also welcome Dr. Sanjay Shirsagar, Mayur Sawant sir, Sonali madam, uh, for taking this initiative. As we all know, education regulation, the previous education regulation was 1991, that is 1991. So almost it took 29 years to implement this new education regulation 2020. So the thought process behind implementing this new ER 2020 is like, if we the government of India, they have introduced NEP in 2020. So the thought process to implement the ER 20 is in the line with NEP, and NEP expects that there should be a complete revamp in the curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and student support. So, keeping all these things in mind, Pharmacy Council of India, they came up with this new ER 2020, and we all know the role of pharmacists has changed a lot. During COVID, we have observed that it's not just the dispensing of medicine, just whatever the medicines are listed on a prescription to be delivered, but counseling also plays a very important role. So that role is also the pharmacist is supposed to deliver. So their role of dispenser of medicine has changed to the medicine expert. So keeping this in mind, this new syllabus, new ER 2020 has been brought up. I think already Sanjay Shirsagar sir has enlightened some of the things. See, new curriculum has come in which there are new subjects are being introduced. So the pharmacotherapeutics and social pharmacy, these are the two new subjects which are introduced in this ER 2020. And nowadays it is outcome based education or competency based education, means whatever we are delivering, we expect that our student, our graduates, our diploma holders should have that competency. So for that, now in ER 2020, for all the subject, there are course outcome which are decided, and the teacher has to take care that whatever the course outcome are decided or are said, COs are there, they need to deliver their subject accordingly, so that the student will get the exposure of that particular course, they will get the complete idea of that particular course, and then further that CO, the course outcome is mapped with the program outcome, which is the ultimate aim of our program which we are delivering. Then with respect to pedagogy also, previously majority of the things were theoretical, but now more of the practical component has been introduced. It is more skill based. There are many I think theory subjects are reduced and the practical component is increased in this year 2020. Then same is applicable for the assessment also. The assessment, there are innovative approaches given with respect to the assessment. The student should develop the critical thinking abilities. They should get some expertise with respect to the searching of the scientific literature, good development of presentation skill, communication skill. So all these things are now taken into consideration for the assessment also. And with respect to student support, so earlier the thing was, students, their mindset was just to complete the diploma certificate, and the institutions also, they were offering whatever theoretical practical part related to pharmacy. But now institution also feel, teacher also feel that the holistic development of students should be done. So through that angle, the mentoring, more number of tutorials are added in year 2020. So what I have read through, there are 275 hours allocated for the tutorial, which will give an opportunity for the teacher to interact one to one with each student and to solve their queries, to solve their difficulties, whatever they are facing in this. And the important change which this year 2020 has brought is, as I already said, it is like, because now we are expecting outcome based education or competency based education. So there are some defined competencies in this year 2020 for a diploma holder who is passing out from the PCI approved institution. So these, based upon the knowledge, skills, attitude, and values which are essential for the successful practice of the profession, these competencies are being derived. So the first one is review of prescription. So the pharmacist is not supposed to dispense or deliver whatever is written on the prescription, but should check the completeness of that prescription, the correctness of that prescription, and accordingly one should deliver that medication. Second is, so this leads to the critical thinking also. See, these diploma institutions are also now going for NBA accreditation, and for NBA accreditation you need to have your course outcome and program outcome mapping, and you need to see the which program outcome you are expecting after completing the diploma in pharmacy. So all these competencies which ER 2020 has given, these competencies are the program outcome as such. So now, as I said, review of prescription. Now this needs critical thinking. One has to think about whether the medications which are given together, they are right or not, whether the dose which is given is right or not. So that is there. Then second is to dispense prescription and non-prescription medicine. So because there are OTC products also, there are some prescription based products and some OTC based products. So the pharmacist should be well aware about the Drug and Cosmetic Act. So theoretical knowledge is also the Pharmacy Act knowledge is also very much important for a student, because in our regular teaching we just deliver a very small portion of that particular act. But all the pharmacists, all those who are a diploma holder especially, they should know about Drug and Cosmetic Act, and what medication they should describe, they should prescribe or deliver on the prescription only, and what are OTC that they should take care of. Because nowadays we all know that we are facing a big issue with respect to the antibiotic resistance, and that is because many patients, they go for the self medication. So the pharmacist has to intervene here and should guide the patient that if there is a prescription from the doctor, then only one should dispense that antibiotics. Otherwise, without having a doctor's prescription, antibiotics should not be dispensed. Then the third is providing patient counseling. So the same thing what I am saying. So the patient counseling, his role, pharmacist's role is what he should guide to the patient with respect to whatever medications written on the prescription, and he should educate the patient with respect to that. Then hospital and community pharmacy management, that is one of the competency required, because anyway they are managing the medical store. They have to manage some, because many of the medical store are now hospital attached. So hospital and community pharmacy management is also a very important competency which is required. Then expertise on medication. So this is very much important. Like in 2 years, we are teaching them with respect to all medicine, but they should have that expertise. They should have that particular knowledge, and they should talk with the healthcare experts also, with doctors also, with respect to whatever is written on the prescription. If suppose they find that the drugs or the combinations which are being given are whether they are good for patient or not. Now we know that there are many multi-component drugs combinations are being banned, and still they are being used. So here they need to convey to the doctor that why these combinations are banned, right? Then proficiency on pharmaceutical formulation. So whatever formulations are available in a medical shop, They already in their 2 years of program, they are going through that. They are developing all those things, like whether it is tablet oral formulation or liquid formulations or injectable formulation. So they should have complete proficiency on the pharmaceutical formulation. Then the graduate should be, the diploma holder should have entrepreneurship and leadership style in them. So that competency need to be developed. So that's why now in ER 2020, a model pharmacy shop is to be established within the institution to teach the student how exactly the medical shop will run when they go to the market. Then to deliver primary and preventive healthcare. So the pharmacist is not supposed to only open a diploma holder, particularly I'm talking about, to start with a medical shop and to dispense the medicine or to deliver the medicine. But with respect to awareness, also they should play a very important role. So the public health related issues they should address. Then they should follow professional ethics, the legal practice, because we know during COVID time what has happened with remdesivir. So there was a complete black marketing, and the patients who wanted, they were not able to get that those things. So that need to be imbibed during their education itself. So this is also one of the competency which we are expecting. And then continuing professional development, that is lifelong learning. So diploma holder, because every year there is a new addition, the new molecules will come, new combinations will come, new dosage form will come. And the pharmacist, one who is in the medical shop or community hospital, one, he should be aware of all these things. So he should be a lifelong learner. Continuously he should learn all these things. And who is going to deliver to the student all these things? Teachers. And that's why I appreciate MET for taking this initiative and to organize for organizing this e-FDP, wherein now teachers are being trained to deliver what they are supposed to deliver to the student who are going to be future pharmacists. And these competencies which are expected in 2020, first teacher should learn about what all competencies they are supposed to deliver to the student, and then only teacher will deliver these things to the student. So a very good initiative. I appreciate MET and APTI Maharashtra for taking this initiative, and I understand there are 650 plus participants, and majority of them are from diploma institution, and they are going to play a very crucial role in implementation in this ER 2020. So I wish all the best to all the participants. And you will get, because I have seen the list of the speakers also, the experts also. So they are going to talk on all these issues which I have discussed, or Dr. Sanjay Shirsagar sir has discussed, and you will be definitely benefited through this FDP. Once again, thank you for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to interact with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your profound speech. I'm sure all faculties present feels motivated by your words. Now I request Dr. Sohan Chitlange, sir, to digitally inaugurate today's FDP.
Chalo. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank,
my
thank
pleasure.
you very much, sir. We at MIT Institute of Pharmacy publish a magazine named Made Insight, which showcases achievement of our students and staff members. This concept is a brainchild of our principal sir, respected Dr. Sanjay Shirsagar sir and Mr. Mayur Sawant sir. I request Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir to unveil MIT Insight issue digitally. Sir, kindly press spacebar button from your end. Thank you very much, sir.
So हे आमचं सर क्वार्टरली मॅगझिन आहे,
How?
where we highlight what we have done in each quarters,
Very
what
nice. Very nice.
student
Very
have
good.
done and what staff and college have done. So
No,
the
the good
parent will also come
compilation
to
of
know.
data. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good compilation of data is also there.
Yeah, yeah, and we pass this magazine or kind of report to our parents also, so they will also come to know what going on in the institute in these four
Nice.
quarters.
Nice
Or
initiative. Very good initiative.
thank you, sir.
Now I request Mr. Mayur Sawant sir to deliver his speech.
Good morning, everyone. Respected chief guest, Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir, our principal, Dr. Shirsagar sir, Secretary APTI Maharashtra State. First of all, we thank you for the opportunity and association with the FDP. We thank APTI for the association and giving us an opportunity to address the issues that we diploma pharmacy faculty members are facing. Now, what happened is with the changed ER, initially we all faculty members were used to the year 1991, and as it was being implemented for the last 29 years, we all were used to delivering what is expected out of it. But now we all faculty member felt that yes, uh, the knowledge we are sharing with our students is getting outdated. Right? So with the new ER, with the new syllabus and curriculum, it is a very nice shift of a diploma pharmacy holder just from dispensing the compounding and dispensing part to the counseling of the patient part. And we as a faculty members have faced multiple issues. It was quite expected to have those issues while implementing it for the first batch of the diploma pharmacy students. And now what we thought is, as we people are facing these issues, we are the only people who need to address those issues. And when we'll be clear with the thoughts, then only we'll be able to deliver that knowledge, deliver the objective of that year to our students only, as those are the main stakeholders, we being the faculty members. So with this point, with this objective, we came for this FDP, idea of this FDP. We had an overwhelming response from all over Maharashtra as well as the other states of India. And we feel that as the number of participants is larger, that means the people are have that readiness to get known to the things, readiness to solve their problems what they are facing with this year. So with this note, I thank all the participants for showing interest into learning new things. We thank the APTI for giving us an opportunity and MSBT for approving this FDP. And we believe that with the lineup that we have for the sessions, we'll be able to deliver the knowledge and the ideas to the faculty members so that the budding pharmacists from our community will get help out of it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Good.
Thank you very much, sir. We have arrived at the end of inaugural function. Let me thank all the people who have made this e-FDP program happen. I thank Honorable Shri Chadan Bhujbar sir, Honorable Shri Samir Bhujbar sir, Honorable Shri Pankaj Bhujbar sir, our constant source of motivation, respected Dr. Shefali Bhujbar ma'am, and all trustees of MET Institute of Pharmacy. I express my gratitude towards APTI Maharashtra State and MSBT for their support. I'm especially thankful to Maharashtra State APTI for training the trainer on this topic of ER 2020. I thank our guest, Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir, for gracing this function by his presence. I thank our principal, respected Dr. Sanjay Shirsagar sir, for giving us an opportunity to organize this e-FDP and for guiding us through it. I thank Mr. Mayur Sawant sir for conceptualizing this e-FDP program and for his guidance for the same. I extend my thanks to all the speakers and participating faculty members who will be here with us for next 2 days. With the prior permission of respected principal sir, I now declare end of today's inaugural function. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sohan sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. So now we can start with the proceeding of our program.
Yeah,
Yes.
all the best.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, without wasting much time, we will move ahead with today's first session. The topic covered will be patient counseling and community pharmacy and management. For this session, we have extremely talented speaker with us, Dr. Manjari Gharat ma'am. I welcome you ma'am for today's session. Let me introduce our eminent speaker to you. A very good morning ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Good morning.
Dr. Manjari Gharat is principal of Kem Kundarani Pharmacy Polytechnic, Ulhasnagar, Maharashtra, and Vice President of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. She is currently Vice President of FIP and Chair of AMR Commission of FIP. She is a passionate for upgrading pharmacy practice in India and expanding the role of community pharmacists in advancing global health. Her initiatives for improvement include development of an innovative public-private partnership engaging community pharmacists in National TB Control Program and a campaign for the responsible for use of medicine. She is a regular pharma columnist on consumer medicine education and has two books on her credit. She has received several awards: FIP Fellow Award, Institute Award from FAPA, Best Professional Award from Ministry of Health, Government of India, and Professor M.L. Khurana Memorial Lecture Award from IPA. She has been admired as a woman on mission by national newspapers in India. Wow, we are so fortunate to have such a talented speaker among us. And now request Dr. Manjiri Gharat ma'am to start her session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sania, for this kind introduction and a very warm welcome. Thank you, Dr. Shirsagar, Mr. Mayur Savan sir, and everyone. And thanks for this opportunity. Thanks to APTI Maharashtra, thanks to MSBT, and of course, thanks to MET Nashik for this opportunity. Now, let me start sharing the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Just, yeah, it's uploading, ma'am. Yes, we can see it.
Right. All right. So, thank you, MET, for giving me my favorite topic, very close to my heart, the community pharmacy, the patient counseling. And this thanks to ER 2020, Education Regulation 2020, from bringing this opportunity to learn and to teach this topic. Why I said to learn? Because many of us in our B Farm curriculum have not learned in detail about the community pharmacy and never about patient counseling. So we are learning and we are teaching, and that's a great show. So in this presentation, I will be actually giving you more of a background. What is the changing focus of community pharmacy globally? What are the advancing pharmacy practices in other countries? What is an Indian scenario? And what are the new subject, basically the community pharmacy practicals in our syllabus? And what are the resources to be used? What is the way forward? So basically, I'll be talking about what we can use and how we can build our knowledge so that we can deliver it for our students. So everyone knows the traditional role of the pharmacist, the apothecary, where the pharmacist used to compound the medicines and then freshly used to administer it to the patient. Gone are those days. This has become a historical role of the pharmacist because there was an industrial revolution and all the medicines came as pre-packed medicines. Compounding slowly vanished, and in some countries still there is, but in India almost I can say there is no compounding. That means now we have pre-packed medicines kept in the drawers, kept on the shelf, and then so is that role now getting marginalized, getting limited only to picking up those pre-packed medicines and giving it to our patients? So is role limited only to dispensing of medicines? But actually, core job will be dispensing, but it is not just the dispensing job. Because globally, if you see, there is changing focus of community pharmacy from product to person. I'm not even saying patient. It is product centric to person centric approach. And the pharmacist is now considered not as medicine seller globally, but as a caregiver. So he's not just a patient counselor. He's not just a friend to the patient. He's considered as a caregiver. So much, much more responsibility is on the pharmacist. And why this responsibility comes to community pharmacist? Because all of you agree that community pharmacy is located in such a way that people often visit the pharmacy when they're not feeling well than visiting a doctor. First thing person goes is to the counter and ask for the medicine than going to the OPD and spending time and money there. Also, that's why we say that the pharmacists are at the forefront. They're the first point of contact for the people with symptoms, or they're the first professional. So this is one of the important reason for community pharmacy to expand its central role. The central role is what? The dispensing. But now this central role has to expand and has expanded globally and to suit the modern healthcare models. So the community pharmacist is at a very, very strategic location. People come to him or her when they have symptoms. And they also come to the community pharmacy after visiting the doctor to buy their medicines. That means the pharmacist has huge scope to influence the patient behavior. And that's why lot of expectations and lot of responsibilities from the community pharmacy. So, in last 3 decades, I can say this, in last 3 decades or so, lot of new patient-centric services started in various countries. Just to summarize few, MUR, that is the medicine use review. Whatever has been prescribed for the patient is reviewed by the pharmacist. So as our chief guest today, Dr. Chitlange said, or Dr. Shiv Sagar said, that it is not just the dispensing, there's much more to it. And so medicine use reviews are done by the pharmacist. Then pharmacist helps for medication adherence, because that is a big problem in the world. Health promotional activities, clinical measurements, demonstration of devices like asthma inhalers, smoking cessation program, vaccinations, anticoagulant services, home medicine reviews, harm reduction services, and so many more. I can tell you, when we are talking about vaccinations, 50% 50% of the COVID vaccinations in United States happened in the community pharmacy. So the community pharmacist's role has expanded beyond our imagination globally. You can see some of these pharmacies with lot of space, excellent infrastructure, lot of ambience. I agree that everything we cannot copy or it cannot be replicated in India, but I'm just giving you an idea about the global community pharmacy. Those of you who have attended the world congresses or who have traveled abroad, they already have an idea. But this is lot of learning. I mean, there is lot of learning when we go to any other country. The first tourist point for us should be visiting a pharmacy and seeing their pharmacy practices. So just to summarize, that the role of the pharmacist has gone beyond dispensing. So there is life beyond dispensing for a community pharmacist. When FIP did a survey of several countries, it came up with these kind of services that we see world over. So there are services which are services for improving the use of medicine, so improving the correct use of medicine. There are product focused services like collecting the expired medicines. There are primary care and public health services like health promotional services, smoking cessation, vaccination, as I told you. Then harm reduction services. Harm reduction services are basically a needle exchange program for the addicts. So those are specialized services offered in the community pharmacies. So you can see syringe exchange program for the addicts. Then other advanced services. So there are lots of services, diabetes management. Now there are specialities in the community pharmacist, that some of them are specialized in diabetes, some of them are specialized in anticoagulants, some of them are specialized in de-addiction services. So this is the way world is moving, as I said, beyond our imagination. And so, overall, the pharmacist globally is considered as a true healthcare professional and a link between the doctors and the patient. There is nice smile on the face of the pharmacist, a very welcoming approach. All of them are wearing the apron. All of them also have a name badge. So it is very easy for the community, for the person who walks in the pharmacy, to identify who is a registered pharmacist. Where can I go and talk? And so with us, it's personal. It is very nicely written in the pharmacy, so that patient feels very comfortable to talk to the pharmacist and share his or her problems. So no wonder pharmacist has been rated as most trusted professional in many countries in Gallup polls. And the comparison was between pharmacists, doctors, nurses, police, bankers, policemen, union leaders, teachers. And there we should be like very proud that in most of the countries where the Gallup poll is done, the pharmacist has maintained its position as number one or number two. So there is competition now in last few years. Is there is a competition between pharmacists and nurses. So sometimes nurses top the survey, they get the highest poll, and then the pharmacists. But still, we are in top three. So pharmacist, in the eyes of the public, is the most trusted professional, where they can go, they can talk about their health issues and get it sorted. So this is a matter of pride. If all of you, I understand you are all from different states in the country, and many are also from Maharashtra, from all nooks and corners of Maharashtra. So some of you might be knowing about this publication. If not, please go to IPA website and download this. And so this is Community Pharmacy Practice Around the Globe Part 1, where we have compiled the articles from on the community pharmacies in different countries from 31 countries, and it is a big learning. So you go through it, please, you download it, it's all free of charge, and then also show it to your students. And then that will be some of them at least will go through it, and some of them will read the article. Even that is our success. I understand everyone will not, that is fine, but then it is our, I think, duty to show it to the students. So after going around the globe, we come to India and what's happening in the country. So pharmacy practice in India, whether it is a business or whether it is a profession, are we considered as healthcare professionals? Unfortunately, no. You will all agree that pharmacist identity role is not yet well established. We are still struggling. Consumers, our patients, are not aware of the potential role that the pharmacist can play. Pharmacists are still looked upon as traders, shopkeepers than healthcare professionals. Let me take a minute and tell you what's happening in Jharkhand in this context. Few days ago, just 2 weeks ago, Chief Minister of Jharkhand has announced that there is no need of a pharmacist, and they can open the drugstore with restricted license in all the areas of in all the panchayat areas. And that has caused a lot of triggered a lot of resistance, a lot of discussion about this. And in now in today's world, I think for opening any drugstore, any pharmacy shop, whether with a restricted license or no full license, the pharmacist is needed. Wherever there are medicines, there has to be a pharmacist. That is the law of our land, and that needs to be followed. But this situation coming in Jharkhand, why is it coming? Because pharmacist has not yet established the identity. We have not proven that we are needed for you. We are not proven that our knowledge is needed for improving the public health. Anyone can pick up. That's what the minister said. That anyone who can read the labels can pick up can open the drugstore with restricted license. So that means that's why we are just that's why I say that we are still looked upon as traders, shopkeepers than the HCPs, than the healthcare professionals, and that is a big concern for the profession. So there are many pharmacies run in the country where there is no registered pharmacist physically present, and we call those pharmacists as ghost pharmacists, signature pharmacists, and so on. So the certificate is hanging on the wall, and that is totally no. This should not happen. The certificate should not be lent by any of our pharmacy student, and then he works somewhere else, and the certificate is in some shop. So this should not happen, but this is happening in some parts of the country, and we must be aware and concerned about it. So why this situation? There are many reasons. There is no point in going into details of this, but our policies, vision, weak law enforcement, commercial issues, socioeconomic conditions, poor health literacy in the country, and also the education. And so education needed much change. Our education did not progress, did not evolve, did not change with the time. And that is also one of the reasons. What happens? So after learning this scenario, let's know how are the medicines used globally across the world. What is the medicine usage situation? What does World Health Organization say? So World Health Organization has one fact sheet on the medicine usage, and it says that more than half of all the medicines are prescribed, dispensed, or sold inappropriately, and that half of all patients fail to take them correctly. That means everybody is involved, all stakeholders are involved. There are mistakes, or there are, if it is wrongly prescribed, it is the medical professionals; wrongly dispensed, it is the pharmacist; sold inappropriately, again the pharmacist. And half of all patients fail to take them correctly. That means again the consumer, the patient comes into the picture, the end user who is not using it correctly. And if the patient is not using the medicines correctly, what's the whole point? The patient undergoes the diagnosis, gets the prescription, purchases the medicines, spends time, spends money, and ultimately there is no therapeutic outcome. Then who has a role to play to improve this situation? And that is the pharmacist has a big role, big opportunity to play a role in this situation to improve the medicine usage situation. So there are many, many medicine. I mean, if I talk to all 650 of you, you can tell me stories that how patients, you must have come across, or you must collect these stories, how the patients use the medicines incorrectly. Just take an example of an oral liquid, and many of our patients do not use the cup or cap which is on the bottle. They would use a kitchen spoon, and kitchen spoon, you all know, it may not be 5 ml, it may not be 1 teaspoon. So the measurements go wrong, accuracy of dose is gone, and then the therapeutic outcome you cannot predict. Chewable tablets are not chewed but swallowed. Dry syrups are not reconstituted properly. Inhalers are not used properly. Antibiotic course is left, resulting into antimicrobial resistance, which itself is a big public health challenge. Blood pressure tablets are not taken. The adherence is poor. Diabetes tablets are not taken as per the dosage schedule. Self medication is a big problem. Irresponsible self medication, let me say. So there are a lot of problems regarding the medicine usage in the country, across the globe also. But in our country, we do not have exact statistics. We do not have a lot of surveys done. This is an opportunity. If people want to do the surveys, want to do the studies in the area of pharmacy practice, let's study how the consumers are using the medicine. So there are a lot of stories. I will not spend my time on this. Like, this is one of the patient who wanted to build his muscles, and he wanted to look like a Bollywood hero. And instead of going to the gym and doing, having good diet, he chose the shortcut on advice of his friend, and he started going to the chemist shop and started buying some tablets. They were of steroids, and his muscles got built up very fast. He started looking great, but he started developing bone pain. He also started shedding his hair. He started developing high blood pressure. Within 6 months, he had a lot of health issues, and that was all because of the steroids which he took. Ultimately, the osteoporosis was so bad that he ultimately underwent hip surgery. The person who wanted to become a Bollywood hero, he now is walking with the walker. So why all this happened? Yes, all the blame we can put on the patient, but the blame is on us also. Why the steroids were dispensed without prescription by the pharmacists? Is that a pharmacist or a pharmacist? So this is also, we need to reflect on ourselves why this situation is coming. So the pharmacist has lots to do and lot of opportunities. One more opportunity, I can just tell you why I say a lot of opportunities, because of the aging population. The average lifespan has increased. People live longer. Then the extended life is not very healthy. They have multiple problems, comorbidities, and so lot of medicines. So this is aging population is considered as a demographic time bomb, and lot of medicine consumption that is increased because of the aging population. Of course, also because of NCDs, the lifestyle disorders, the non-communicable diseases, which which we are teaching in all the subjects. I think in pharmacotherapeutics, community pharmacy, also in hospital and clinical pharmacy, and we touch upon that, of course, in pharmacology. So NCDs is a big problem, and epidemiological transition is from the infectious diseases to the NCDs because of our changing lifestyle. And so again, lifelong medicine. See, when there is an infectious disease, the treatment is just for short duration. If it is a lifestyle disorder like diabetes or hypertension, the treatment is lifelong. That means the medicine consumption is for longer time and more medicines are required. And because of all this, again, I want to emphasize that there is a lot of scope for the role of pharmacist, and pharmacist has tremendous opportunity. to contribute to the public health by improving the medicine usage by the public. Dispensing would remain a core job, but patient-centric services such as patient education, we can say patient counseling, patient instructions, overall patient education, and population-centered services. I say population-centered services, which includes the health promotional services and many other value-added services, is the need of the hour. So this we want it to happen in our society. This we want our professionals, our D Farm students, our B Farm students to learn. And so this is, I mean, there are good changes happening in the country. There is a good pharmacy practices training manual which came for the to support the changing role of the pharmacist. Then there is responsible use of medicine handbook which we released through IPA in year 2015. So these are all the good developments happening in the country, but in isolation. It needs to be on a much bigger scale. You can see one of the pharmacists from Goa doing the blood pressure measurement and also the peak flow meter, blood glucose measurement. Here is the blood pressure measurement, and the pharmacist has put up a big board. Got a question? Ask your pharmacist. So this is a really good way to sensitize the community. I'm here. I'm knowledgeable. I will help you. So this we have to promote our own role. That's also is important. So taking into cue all this, what is happening globally, what India needs, what are the needs of the public health, the ER 2020 has been framed. And so it has become more relevant to the current global practice standards. New regulation has given due consideration for the fact that universally the role of pharmacist has undergone continuous evolution from dispenser to healthcare provider in the multidisciplinary healthcare team. And we as teachers, we need to prepare the budding pharmacists for such role. And that is our responsibility. So that's why I said we need to learn first. We need to build our knowledge. We need to build our confidence in delivering this, and then we can deliver it to the students. So it is a lot of fun learning along with the students if we are already not prepared ourselves. And ER 2020, it is mix of teaching, learning. There is a lot of active learning, hand-holding, self-directed learning, exploration by the students, activities, demos, assignments, and lots. Now, one of the subjects I would discuss based on what I have already have set the scene, and would be the community pharmacy. So now you all realize, I mean, many of you must be already knowledgeable and you already know this. Maybe it is just re-emphasizing by me. But so the community pharmacy is a core subject for diploma in pharmacy, and community pharmacy never had practicals before. And we had health education and community pharmacy as a subject, which was actually, though the title included community pharmacy, believe me, it was, and you will all agree, it was more of health education than the community pharmacy. Now we have true community pharmacy theory as well as community pharmacy practicals. Let me talk about community pharmacy practicals more. So the model community pharmacy with appropriate simulated scenarios and materials are required for this. Students shall be trained through role plays wherever necessary. So what are the different topics we need to cover in this? Handling of prescriptions with professional standards, reviewing prescriptions, checking for legal compliance, completeness, identification of drug-drug interactions, preparation of dispensing labels and auxiliary labels, providing the health screening services for monitoring patients or detecting new patients, that is blood pressure measurement, capillary blood glucose, lung function test with peak flow meter, oxygen levels, BMI, etc. Then counseling to the simulated patients for the chronic diseases. It could be type 2 diabetes, it could be primary hypertension, and so on. And a most important area, I would say this is something very important, that is providing counseling to simulated patients for the minor ailments. Minor ailments, that is the for which not necessarily the prescription medicines will be required. They are minor illnesses. Pharmacists can treat it. So, for example, headache, gastrointestinal disturbances, pain, constipation, upper respiratory tract infections like sore throat, skin infections, etc. So this is a big area globally for a pharmacy service, and that is called as self-care, where the pharmacist can help the patient to make responsible decision, and pharmacists can help the patient to get out of this minor ailment. But if the patient continues with the symptoms, pharmacists would refer the patient to the physician. So there our role gets over. So we should know what is the scope. We should also know what are the limitations for our role. We should not overdo the things, and we should not do anything wrongly. So that is important. That is important to teach to our students, that in our enthusiasm, we should not be crossing our borders, and we should be doing the things correctly. We should be following good pharmacy practices. So this is one area where pharmacists can play a big role, and we can teach it in a very practical way to our students. Also, appropriate handling of all the dosage forms. This I said, as I just mentioned earlier, oral liquids. Start with oral liquids, and then eye drops, inhalers, nasal drops, insulin pains. I think if we have not learned it before, when we teach it, it is very, very exciting to first learn what is the correctness, what are the correct methods, what are the instructions to be given. And so when we learn, we can teach it to our students. So this is very, very, I think this entire practical syllabus is extremely very exciting, and it helps us to enrich our own knowledge and to deliver to the students. The patient counseling remains at the heart of the community pharmacy, whether it is a minor ailment, whether it is health promotion, whether it is the prescription medicine. So, patient counseling is defined as providing medication information orally or in written form to the patients or their representative on directions of use, advice on side effects, precautions, storage, diet, lifestyle modifications, etc. So, everyone knows that there are two ways of counseling, basically two ways. Now you can add a digital counseling mode also, that can be in the written information. So verbal, face to face, and the written information in different ways. Who is coming to our pharmacy? The patient himself or the patient's relatives. So we need to be prepared, our students need to be prepared to talk confidently with the patient or the patient's family member. And the communication skills is the heart and soul of the patient counseling. So good communication skills are needed to gain patient confidence and help to motivate the patient to adhere to the therapy and the recommended regimen. So the counseling process uses verbal and non-verbal communication skills. So the language which is used by the pharmacist, the volume, the speed with which one speaks. If somebody speaks in high speed, the patient is not going to understand anything. Non-verbal communication, the proximity, the eye contact, the facial expression, all these matters. And let me tell you, this is not only important for the student as a pharmacist, but also as a professional in general in their lives. So if they learn proper communication skills, it is going to be their personality development also, and not just as a pharmacist. Because some of the students may not become pharmacists, community pharmacists, but all these learnings are going to help them. So steps in patient counseling, all the teachers who teach this subject, they know it very well. Introduction with greeting, history taking, review the patient's prescription, dispense medicine with counseling the patient about medications, other related information, feedback from the patient. That is, review if the patient has understood the instructions given. So this is the process. Now, when we start teaching it, sometimes we also feel a disconnect, that this is actually not happening in the field. This is not actually happening in the reality. And would my patient wait in the pharmacy for so long? Such questions do come. But what we also need to get convinced, that this is the way forward. This is where we need to go. This is what we need to teach our next generations. And then we can see change in the pharmacy practice that is needed. So we need to be, there should be strong conviction within our hearts that the pharmacist needs to learn everything. I tell my students that this is the way we need to learn. I agree that if you're a pharmacist tomorrow in the shop, you are serving to the patients, your patient may not wait for that long time to talk to you for 10 minutes to cover all this. So have a nice, modest way of talking to the patient, but deliver quickly the correct information which is required. Say antibiotic is dispensed, you at least tell the patient that antibiotic course needs to be completed. If you're giving albendazole tablet, at least tell the patient this is a chewable tablet, do not swallow it, take it after dinner. So this basic tips which are very important, that should be delivered. So that is, at a practical level. But we need to teach in the college for our budding pharmacists all this, so they know where they have to go. So the ground realities might be different, but our attempt is what? To transform those ground realities slowly. So patient needs to know the medicine's generic name and brand name. So when the counseling is taught, the pharmacist, the patient should have eye contact with the tablet whichever is given, or the medicine whichever is given. The patient should know, yes, this is my amoxicillin syrup, and so the name is amoxicillin. It is an antibiotic. It is going to cure, make me feel better from my infection, which may be fever and sore throat. So the timings, how many days to take, why it is important to complete the course, whether it should be taken with food, after food, at bedtime, early morning, why the special timings, that can be taught, and that can be explained, how to take it with water only, or with fruit juice. What happens if you forget the dose, if you miss the dose, what should be done, any precautions, common side effects. And in patient counseling, we don't need to tell the patients about all the side effects. If we tell the patient about all the side effect, patient would run away. Patient would say, what type of medicine has been given to me by my doctor, and what this pharmacist is telling me. So the patient would not go to that doctor and the pharmacist, or patient would go back to that doctor and say, oh, what kind of medicine have you given, that pharmacist told me. So tell them the common side effects. So for example, if we are dispensing antihistaminic, then this may cause drowsiness, the older antihistaminics, I mean. And so something which is very important, and which may happen, we should tell. Otherwise, we should be very cautious and say, if you feel any other changes, if you have any this symptoms, please see me, or please go back to your doctor. But do not discontinue, go back to your doctor and discuss. So there has to be, a borderline and fine balance that needs to be struck, because our population, our patients are not yet completely health literate. In other countries, they themselves print everything from the Google, I mean, not Google, from the actually manufacturer's website, or the pharmacist prints the entire drug information, the drug facts, and gives it. Here in our country, also, a lot of people go to Google and read it, but then it is our responsibility to demystify the wrong things and then tell them the correct things. So when it comes to patient counseling, I told you community pharmacy and patient counseling is very close to my heart, and this is the way I started in 2002 with model pharmacy. My principal that time, and myself, we built this model pharmacy, and then I teach pharmacology. So I used to conduct these role play method practicals, patient counseling practicals, ever since 2002-3 batch. And so we used to collect some prescriptions. We still do it. We used to collect the prescriptions, and then I used to take them to the library and some resources, and make them sit, make them understand whether the prescription is complete or not, whether what kind of instruction should be given to when I'm dispensing these medicines. They used to prepare a write-up, and then in the next practical, I used to take them to the model pharmacy, and one student used to become patient, one student used to become pharmacist, and then batch wise, this is of course happening. And we used to do these practicals, and then we used to discuss who has missed certain information. Okay, this pair has missed to tell the storage information. This student has missed to tell about the side effects. So we used to discuss that, and that's how it evolved. Let me tell you, students love this. Students used to get so energized, and students used to get so much excited to this type of role plays. And so this is one of my favorite activity in pharmacology practical. That time it was, but now it has shifted to community pharmacy, so I don't need to take it under pharmacology practicals. But this is how we started since 2002, and we have this model pharmacy built up in our college, and now soon we will renovate it because it's completing almost 20 years. So, when we are talking about patient counseling and other practicals in community pharmacy, we need to actually show them the mentioned items. For example, there is a practical. writing dispensing labels and auxiliary labels. Writing dispensing labels, we know it from our the previous year 1991 also. Auxiliary labels or supplementary labels, these are only the supportive instructions. So take it with food, this will make you drowsy, take it at bedtime, just a very small piece of instruction having few words. So these type of auxiliary labels are very common in other countries, so far not yet common in our country. Also the regulatory issue, we feel whether we should stick anything on our product, whether it is allowed. So there are some areas, but this is the way we need to show them, and we can get these type of labels. I think now it is available also in India, and we can show them, and we can also make them do this type of practical. So I did not see the pictures of auxiliary labels in many of the community pharmacy practical manuals. It should be, and we should ask our students to see that. Also, one of the resource which I mentioned earlier, responsible use of medicines, a layman's handbook. Though it is a layman's handbook, it is extremely useful for pharmacy teachers, pharmacy students, and pharmacists. And it covers almost everything from the completeness of prescription, how the prescription should be, spurious medicines, dosage, adherence, and also one of the last chapter you can see various dosage forms. So very clearly we have given here the dosage form and the instructions. So again, I will appeal to you that you can download this free of charge, of course, from the IPA website. Go to Community Pharmacy Division and download this booklet. If you want a hard copy, you have to contact IPA headquarters in Kalina, in Bombay College of Pharmacy. We have office, and it is the hard copy is available at some nominal charge. But you can, till then, you can at least download this, use it, go through it, use it, and make your students also go through it. So this is a very, very useful resource which we have compiled with the help of many eminent pharmacists. Then one more great resource. Watch the FIP digital events. You don't need to be a member for that. So go to fip.org, go to digital events. Since COVID, we have like number of digital events. Almost every week, one or two webinars we have been conducting. And the webinars on self-management of common ailments are really good, really helpful for our current syllabus of community pharmacy. So go through that. And then the recorded webinars are there on the website. The new webinars are coming up, which also the list is there. And go through that. So there are common elements like sore throat, pain, then also the skin disorders, hyperacidity, reflux disorders. Everything has been discussed in each digital event by the expert pharmacists from different countries. So that is a great learning. I mean, I know this, we have to spend time for this, but we can, allocate some time for this learning and also guide our students for self-directed learning. One more resource which you can use is IPA CPD E-Times, again a free of charge educational publication by our Community Pharmacy Division. It is all the issues are available on ipapharma.org under publications. And why I'm telling you to use this, because we have the columns like GPP instructions, which is directly patient counseling for each prescription. Then we have consumer dialogue for one health condition. OTC corner, which is going to be useful for us, pharmacy practice in various countries, drug information. So go through all the issues from beginning. We have everything uploaded on the website, and choose some. In fact, I will tell you, when we are doing this role play practicals for years, I used to keep copies of the drug information and the GPP instruction printed in the pharmacology lab. And I used to let students refer to that. If their prescription has some of those medicines, then they used to refer and see how the instructions have been given, what instructions have been given. So this is all building our own resource library for us, which we can use. Then there is a practical on drug interaction checker. So drug interactions are given in many books. There is no problem. But there is also one very good drug interaction checker. So you go to Medscape website and then see, you can put the name of the drug and the other drug and see if there is a interaction. We can see that and we can show it to our students. They will also like it. There is also an app for this. So we can use that. There is also a very good book, that is British National Formulary. If you do not have BNF, then again you can approach IPA. We have some old copies of BNF, I think still left, but it is a nice, concise, small book having extremely good appendix annexures at the end, which talk about drug-drug interactions. They talk about the dosage instructions. I like it and I use it all the time. Then go to IPC website, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission website, and see the Pharmacovigilance Program of India. Some of you might be teaching community as well as hospital pharmacy. Extremely useful for you. See the PVPI drug alert, show it to the students, and also show them the ADR reporting format. Download the ADR reporting format, which is for healthcare professionals as well as for the consumers in different language. So download it, let the student fill that with some dummy information or the genuine information if he has a case around, and go let them go through that. So IPC has this National Formulary of India 2021, again, which is, I talked about BNF. If getting BNF is a problem, at least get the National Formulary of India. It is very useful, and that is available in most of the drugstore, or you can get it directly from the IPC website. You can order it directly from the IPC website. So that this is the latest that we have in the formulary, and it is extremely useful resource. We must have it in our library for our usage. I'm sure a lot of you have seen patient counseling. If you're teaching community pharmacy, you might have Googled as well as gone to YouTube and try to see the patient counseling videos. So there are very good patient counseling videos available on the YouTube. We can choose right ones and then share it with our students. Please also check American Pharmacist Association website, APHA website, I think pharmacist.com. And each year they conduct patient counseling competition, and counseling videos of the winners and of the entries are uploaded there. That is very useful. I have been showing at least 2 or 3 such videos to the students for last several years, and they like it, and I like to show it to them, and because it is very good learning, very good practical learning. Lot of apps. I'm sure maybe you know many more apps than me, but then some of the apps which I like, I have used, and I tell my students they must download 1 or 2 of these apps. So Medscape, WebMed, drugs.com, they're from US. Then we can have Tata 1mg or any of the other apps, not for the commercial purpose, but just for the drug information learning purpose for our students. Up to date, that is also one of the good app. NFI, I showed you National Formulary of India. They had an excellent app, and I used that app to teach to the students, and they used to download it for many years. But now with the new NFI, which I showed you 2021, I don't see the app there in the Google Play Store, but maybe soon it will be coming. I spoke to them, I told them that we need that app again back. So maybe it will come back. So some of these apps must be downloaded by our student. Every student has smartphone. I have not seen a student who does not have a smartphone. In last 3-4 years, I had only one girl student who did not have the smartphone. So most of everyone has it, and then we can ask them to download at least 1 or 2 apps, and we can take help of those apps, make them learn, give them some assignment to study from the app. Then one more thing what I can share is from maybe 2005 or 6, what we have been doing is to improve the academia practice interface. We started a junior clerkship or pharmacy practice exposure program for the second year students. See, what happens is after second year DPharm, students go for their summer training, practical training, but not before that. And what is important is when they're learning the theory, in the college, in the 4 walls of college, they also need to have some practice exposure simultaneously so that they can learn better and they can be more interested. So experience and exposure to the real life practice is needed. So we conducted during second year DPharm in their first term before Diwali or during Diwali vacation, and we give them some letter that go to the nearby pharmacy or a hospital and tell them this is not summer training. I just want to spend 1 day or 2 days, if you allow me, in the pharmacy setup. I want to be a silent spectator, an observer, and I want to learn how the actually practice happens. So we need to establish network with good nearby pharmacies and hospitals. I'm sure you already have it. Many of your ex-students must be having the pharmacies around. So we can send them letter and talk to them. Initially, when we started this, every pharmacist where the students used to go, they used to get confused whether it is summer training. So not summer training, we can give some other name. Junior clerkship is a term which is used in United States universities. So I just took that, but then you can use some other term, exposure program or something, just to make it easily understandable. Give to the students code of conduct and reference points for learning, and then students need to submit their report afterwards. So I give this type of in during COVID 2 years we have not done it, but otherwise all 20 years I have done this. So reference points for easier learning in retail pharmacy. What is the area of pharmacy? Whether cleanliness is there. I tell student imbibe on their minds that they should not give any reactions over there. Just observe, come back and give the report. They should not say this is not clean or pharmacist is not counseling. No, they need to be an observer. So bills, license displayed, any patient counseling done. All this students used to learn silently and come back and make a report with the photographs. So this is one junior clerkship program happening in one of the pharmacy in Kalyan area in Maharashtra. So students can go just for 1 day, 2 days, 3 afternoons, 4 afternoons. It is all convenience of the pharmacist and the student. But at least minimum 1 day they must go. More if they want, that is fine. So this is one of the things you can start now that we have community pharmacy as a full-fledged subject in theory and practical. I think this will be very, very helpful. Also, one of the activity which this is not the assignment which we are expecting in ER 2020. I'm just telling you beyond that, that one of the assignment that I give initially when the students join in first year, and if we miss it that time in the second year, that home medicine list. Tell the students that they should make the list of all the medicines at home, read the labels, they write the name, generic name, expired, unexpired, or whether expiry date has gone, the strip is cut, where is it stored, because there are a lot of storage areas in our house. Some people keep it on the shelf, on the refrigerator, some may keep it on the table, in the window. In the one house there might be 4 or 5 different locations where the medicines are dispersed. So all that has to be compiled in the tabular form, and then we can discuss with the students. So students learn at least to locate where the medicines are at their home. How do they look like? What are their names? Whether they are stored properly, whether they are expired. For what are they? So if they don't understand what is the use of that medicine, they can read the books, Drug Today or Sims, or go to app and then find the information. So also farmers family members realize that their ward is going in a professional course and learning something new, and then we should educate the students how the medicine should be correctly stored at home, how the medicine should be handled. So once they submit that assignment, it is an opportunity to discuss with them and educate them right in the beginning of the year. So they keep their eyes and ears open whenever the medicines are there in the house, and the patients, if they have family member is a patient at the home, and they can start talking to that patient. आपने दवाई ली क्या? मॉर्निंग में 9 बजे आपको ब्लड प्रेशर की दवाई लेनी थी दादाजी, आपने ली नहीं, क्यों नहीं ली? Something like that, that they can start interacting with. So one more thing that we have been doing is teaching the students responsible use of medicine. So all this correct use of medicine, ultimately we train the students, and then students become educator during their second year pharmacy latter part, and then they go to nearby schools, 8th, 9th standard onwards, or to junior college, or to their own schools, or to the tuitions, or to the old people's home, and talk about the correct usage of medicine. So I used to train them for the responsible use of medicine, along with that tuberculosis symptoms and treatment, because that is again a major public health problem for us. So these are some of the photos where students have done a wonderful job in the campaign for awareness on responsible use of medicine. Again, due to COVID, for last 2 years, 3 years, it has got discontinued, but we will restart it now. Again, one more resource is again FIP webinars, which I already told you. It is a wealth of knowledge. And one more thing, now students are very techno savvy. There is no problem. We just have to guide them. Tell the students to do some short courses. Short means really short courses, 40 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, which are free of charge, and the students get the participation certificate. So during COVID time, I just searched for these type of courses, and then I recommended few to our students, and they have done it. So participation certificate they get, they feel very excited. So this is one of the example. The Pan American Health Organization, the course was accurate automated blood pressure measurement. It was just I think a 1 hour course which our students did. Everybody had to produce the certificate. So I made it compulsory. Everybody underwent that. It is good learning. The course is really nice, and it is from the American Health Association. So good for the students. They feel excited. They feel more involved. They feel more engaged, interested. And now this topic is directly part of our community pharmacy practicals. Also, there are similar courses on AMR. So as I requested you to attend the FIP webinars, also share a link of the webinar whenever it is coming up with the students, tell them to attend. Now this year I had shared initially in the year, last year, first year, I think, the links, and then some of the students have they have done attended the webinar Reflux Management in the Community on 25th January 2023. And so she felt so excited that she got the certificate of attendance, and she attended this webinar along with pharmacists, teachers of say at least 30-40 countries simultaneously. So that is a great experience, that gives great feeling, and students feel very much energized and interested after once we show them these type of pathways. So I told you about the FIP webinars, but also IPA documents, but also please download some of the very useful FIP resources. That is again the empowering self-care, or then the FIP digital health in pharmacy education. We have a chapter on digital health in theory as well as practical. This is very useful resource. So for role of pharmacists in sore throat, cardiovascular diseases, so all this is extremely important and useful. I request now, sir said that 650 or more registrations have happened. I'm sure some of the principals are also attending. I request in every institute, at least one person should become FIP member. FIP membership is annual membership. It is not lifelong membership. It is around 60 euro for countries like us. So at least these resources you can download when you are a member. Digital events, everybody can see it. But I think it is very important that one of you become a member, download all these resources. Once you are a member, you will keep getting emails also from FIP. So we have to broaden our horizons. We have to, lift our bars, and then also show it to the students. So one thing leads to other. So you have to broaden the network, and I'm sure some of you already have. If not, for them, I'm telling you. So go to fip.org, take the membership, and see what's happening globally, and you'll be so excited to be a part of the global community. Many websites you must have already seen. I told you about APHA website. Also, American Association of AACP website is very good. IPSF, International Pharmaceutical Students Federation, IPA website I told you. Then Royal Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain. Then BNF, if we don't have a hard copy, bnf.org is also very useful. Then this is the theory textbook which we have written, myself and Mr. Raj Vaidya, who is an eminent pharmacist from Goa, the past IPA vice president also, and Dr. Guru Prasad Mohanta. He is the professor of pharmacy practice in Annamalai University. So many of the practical things we have tried to include. So this also you can refer. If you don't have in the library, you may get that if you want. There are many good publications. I myself was using many the publications from the textbooks from many other publications. So I'm not saying you must use it. I'm just showing you that this is one resource which we have tried to put a lot of practical things in it. It's a theory textbook, but still very useful from practical point of view also. So summarizing, I'm just coming to the end part of my presentation. So what is our aim? What should our pharmacy profession deliver? It is in United States, in Washington, D.C., there is the Office of American Pharmacist Association, and they have these great sculptures, which I really love. There are two sculptures. One says, what is the role of the pharmacy profession it's talking about? From making of medicines to making medicines work. That is the role of the pharmacist. That is the entire range of different roles that we can play. That means we do the research, we do the quality assurance, we do the manufacturing, we do the marketing, and ultimately we have to make our medicines work for our patients. So that is our ultimate aim, that our end user uses the medicines correctly. Otherwise, the millions of dollars spent on the research, billions of dollars spent on the manufacturing and related activities, it is all going in vain if our patients are not using the medicines correctly. And that's where the role of the pharmacist, the community pharmacist, or in the hospital pharmacist is extremely important. And I feel that is the face of the pharmacy profession. So it is very, very valuable role, and teaching with interest and understanding and developing right approach is will be very helpful. We all know that who is our client. The pharmacy profession has only one client, and that is our patients. If people don't feel sick, then we are not needed, medicines are not needed, we are not needed, nurses, doctors, paramedics, no one is needed. But that is not going to happen on this earth. People are going to fall sick, and that's why we are there for. So our existence of the profession is for one client. And whenever we are teaching any subject, be it pharmaceutics, be it pharmacology, be it community pharmacy, be it hospital pharmacy, therapeutics, patient should be at the center of our talk. So we need to build that approach, and we need to engrave that in our mind, that while teaching any subject, we need to talk about the patients. We need to bring that patient, imaginary patient, in front of eyes of our students, so that they also build that correct attitude. It is said that the power of the molecule is released by the hands of the pharmacist. And so we are creating those hands, we have those hands, and we are creating those hands. So I feel myself very, very fortunate to be a teacher, and that too a pharmacy teacher. I believe that teachers can be the agents of change. We can touch the students' lives and we can transform that. So we have to realize that we teachers can contribute significantly to the nation's healthcare. We don't need to be all the time. We cannot think of going to the border and then fighting for our country. We are here creating the developing the budding pharmacists who are going to contribute to the public health, who are the part of the national healthcare. And so that's it. So we have our direct contribution to the nation's healthcare. So this orientation and teaching approach is very important. We learn the things. Learning, building knowledge is not very difficult. Along with that, we have to have that right teaching approach, so that we can deliver it correctly, we can deliver it with a lot of enthusiasm. So we need to love our profession, and let's be proud of our profession. And what is most important, we need to be inspired ourselves. If we are not inspired, we cannot inspire our students. And teaching is all about inspiring the young minds. So we need to be enthusiastic and inspired all the time, come what may. When we are with the students, we are fully charged, we are passionate, and we are delivering to the students. So whatever else is going on in our life, if we don't have correct salaries, there are a lot of problems. Every profession has problems. But when we are with the students, we are teachers, and we have to know that we need to be inspired, and we need to inspire our students. So at least something they will take from us, and they will be contributing to the nation's healthcare. So let's keep the flag high for the pharmacy profession. Let's take a lot of pride, love our profession, celebrate the profession. World Pharmacist Day is coming up. It is very important that our students know about this, our students celebrate it. They should know why we are celebrating it. So I think this is our duty. We need to do that. And not all classrooms have four walls. So we have to go beyond this. We have to show the higher horizons, broader horizons to our students. And that is the role of the teachers. And ER 2020 has brought a lot of new opportunities, which we must take. I admit that there would be, when there is a transition period from one ER to another ER, there would be change of track, will cause some friction, will cause some problems, will cause some issues, but then it will slowly diffuse if we try properly. And I congratulate MET for conducting such type of e-FDPs, which are very much important. And thank you for patient listening. And I really like that the people, the participants are from all the different states, and that is really a very national FDP. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sania. Thank you, Dr. Shilsagar.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was such a fantastic session. Very interactive, isn't it? Ma'am, you have explained so intricately all aspects of community pharmacy teaching, and it will definitely benefit all faculty members to prepare their teaching plan. Also, I
Thank you.
found short-term certification idea for student development very interesting. I'm getting many questions from the audience. Also, I would like to tell you that audience are expressing that session was very informative and very interesting. So
Thank
now
you.
we will move forward to question and answer part. If participants still have some questions, you can drop it in the chat box. So, ma'am, I will take the first question.
Yes.
Uh, Mrs. Manisha Shinde has asked this question that community pharmacy is one of the subject that we teach in diploma, and what are the steps that we need to take as a teacher to effectively teach this subject?
Thanks, Manisha, for the question. I think most of the things that I have covered in the presentation talk about what are the steps we need to take. I mean, we need to refer to the textbooks, yes. We need to refer to the practical manuals, of course, yes. But along with that, I have shared many of the good websites, many of the apps, and also many of the other certification courses and some teaching methodologies like the junior clerkship or the role play method that we need to do. So this all will totally, will be, if you put a collage of all this, that is something that we need to do to deliver the teach the community pharmacy. I do not know whether every college now has model pharmacy. If not, we can start thinking of creating it. And no worries if you don't have it at this point of time, but then even in the lab we can have a table which is the counter of the pharmacy, and a role play can be done very well. So there is nothing should stop us from using the active learning techniques for teaching of community pharmacy. Take them for the visits and also send them for the junior clerkship programs. That will create a lot of interest and enthusiasm for both sides, for the teachers and the students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I will take a second question. This question is asked by Mr. Ganesh Rahane. The question is how OTC medications affect general public, and what information should be given to the patients who are regularly using OTC medicines.
Okay, a good question. So OTC medicines, though they are called as for minor ailments, over the counter, non-prescription medicines, but still OTC medicines can cause harm if they are taken repeatedly. You must be knowing the patients who are using, antacid over a long period of time. I mean, it's just a part of their routine to take an antacid, like an salt or whatever. So we need to teach the patients about OTC medicines, that even though they are for minor ailments, it can cause serious harm. So how to take it, when to take it, and when to stop taking it, and when to go to the physician. So there has to be an algorithm. And if you refer to Good Pharmacy Practices Training Manual, unfortunately, very few copies are left in IP and very old also. But if you can get hold of some and make a PDF or something for your own use, it will be really useful. And in our books also, I think we have explained about the OTC use. So OTC is big area, and there the pharmacist need to play more important role, because OTC is more of self medication. Patient may walk in and ask for paracetamol, ask for antacids. So there we can use our knowledge for benefit of the patient use.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We have one more question. We are getting a lot of questions, but I will ask this question. Mr. Gajanan Zawarkar is asking, please provide list of health organizations for international certificate.
So international certificate which I shared with you, as I showed you as a sample, that was from PAHO, Pan American Health Organization. But also, I mean, PAHO has some programs. WHO has some programs free of charge on AMR and other topics. So just explore. Medline has some programs. FIP has some programs. So just explore, and you will know more about it. So international certification comes from lot of organizations, even ACP, AACP. Some of them are paid, and also some courses in Coursera are very good. Coursera courses are very good. Some of them are free of charge. If you need a certificate, you have to pay. But explore Coursera also. Some of the courses are relevant directly to us.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I will take one more question. I'm very sorry I'm taking your time, but participants are asking many questions.
Okay, yeah, we
So
can
the
take
question
it.
is, can you provide some books for conducting practicals in CPM?
Uh, I do not have. I mean, we have not authored a book for the practicals. The work is on, but I recommend you to use the Good Pharmacy Practice Training Manual, which has a lot of relevant information. And there are many practical manuals from many publishers. So I think what we do in our college is we take 3, 4 different practical manuals from different publishers and then take what is good for us. And for students we have to take only use only one. I agree, because that is convenient, but then we can take 4 or 5 manuals and then teach the student by combining or by taking what we feel is more useful for them. So there is no one direct book that I can recommend right now, unfortunately.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thanks,
We are
Tanya.
still getting a lot of questions, but we have time limit. So
I
I
can,
would like.
yeah, Sania, if I mean, I can write down my email address in the chat box here. You may share it with them.
Yes, that
So
will be fantastic, ma'am.
yeah, so if they have any questions, they can write to me, and as I get time, I can answer it later on. Okay, so I shared my email address.
Or
So
what we are planning to do is, ma'am, or what we are will try to do is we'll be summarizing those questions, we'll be sharing it with you, and once we have answers for all, we'll be sharing it with the participants also. So we
Right.
all will try to summarize the questions so that the repetition of question will not be there. Right. So we'll
Fine.
try to
That is
summarize
good.
it for all and we'll share it with you.
Make a spreadsheet so we can answer it right there. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, organizers, and thank you to all the participants for your active participation and patient listening. Thank you. Bye bye.
So we are at the end of our session. So let me just conclude it by vote of thanks. I thank Dr. Manjari Gharat ma'am for beautifully explaining to this topic. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving us your time, and I express my gratitude on behalf of MIT IOP. I thank our technical team handled by Mr. Shubham Khairnar sir and all team members who are behind the scenes of this e-FDP. I thank once again APTI Maharashtra State for their association with MIT IOP in organizing this e-FDP. Now I declare that this session has ended and we will resume for next session at 1:15 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.